Hello and good evening students and welcome back to Global Online Platform. This is Chandni Swarnakar and today we are going to cover two important writers of postmodern age, that is Terence Rattigan and Caryl Churchill. Okay, so you can get my lectures at 8 p.m. on a daily basis, but before diving into the video, let me share that there is a great opportunity to prepare smartly for the April 2024 Maharashtra SET. Global Online is offering a comprehensive English literature course. You'll have access to video lectures that explain concepts using short and effective methods. The course also provides downloadable PDF notes for your convenience. Additionally, you'll get mock tests that simulate real exam conditions, boosting boosting your final preparation. To learn more, reach out to the provided contact number here. Okay, now if you want to reach or watch free videos, first download the Global Online app. Once you are in, head to the source section. There you'll find details of all the courses. Use the search bar to directly type in the course name and you will find an overview along with fees for the duration. Click on the content section and you'll find unit wise folders. In each unit you'll get theory lectures, evaluation notes, mock tests and MCQs. No need for extra reading. Now if you decide to join the paid course, you'll also be added to a WhatsApp group. In that group you'll receive PDFs for each session along with the videos link. It's a great way to stay connected and get additional resources. Okay, so now let's start with our first writer, who is Terence Rattigan. Okay, do remember he was born in 1911 and died in 1977. Okay, he was a British dramatist. Like in drama he contributed a lot, and he was also a screenwriter, so screenplays and all. Of course, his plays are mostly set in an upper class background. More often you will see that there is a play by Terence Rattigan, but the setting will be upper class background. Okay, so that is why it is being mentioned here. Now let's cover the works that you need to do or cover for the Maharashtra SET. The first work of Terence Rattigan is The Winslow Boy. What? The Winslow Boy. It was published in 1946. Now, basically the plot, the two characters are there. Okay, Ronnie and Ronnie's father, Arthur Winslow. Okay, here the plot revolves around a young boy named Ronnie Winslow, who is actually expelled from the Royal Naval College, but for some reason, of course, but his father was not accepting that, and he believes that his son is innocent, and he decided to fight for him. Okay, fight for justice, and even if it means taking the case to court, he didn't mind that. Okay, so he fought for him. So he believes that his son is innocent. So the whole story revolves around father and son relationship, and also the background story is important. Now the second work is the Browning version. What? The Browning version, which was published in 1948. Now basically you need to understand that the Browning version is a work, okay, is a part of two short plays. Jointly it was published as Playbill. The title is Playbill, but there is two stories, short plays are there. So the one is the Browning version, okay, and jointly they published as Playbill. The Browning version basically sets in a boys' public school, and classics teacher in the play Crocker Harris. Now the interesting thing here is Crocker Harris is the character, is very much basically it is believed that it is based on Rattigan's classics tutor. Okay, it is based on Rattigan's teacher. Okay, at Harrow School, J.W. Cock Norris. The name of the classics tutor is, Rattigan's classic tutor is J.W. Cock Norris. Okay, now let's cover the third work, The Deep Blue Sea. It's a play. Now it is based on Rattigan's story and characters on his secret relationship with Kenny Morgan. Now the whole story, basically when you read, you'll get to know that it is basically based on Rattigan's story, a secret relationship that he was having with Kenny Morgan. and also the aftermath of the end of the relationship, what is happening, how it ends, it will tell you that. Okay, now moving on. Fourth work is separate tables. Okay, it's a collective name of two one-act plays. I told you this before, that the Browning version was published, it's a single work, but jointly it was published as playbill. Okay, but here separate table is a collective name of two one-act plays. Two plays are there, and it has one act. Okay, both set in the Bournemouth on the south coast of England. Both set in the Bournemouth on the south coast England. The first play, basically titled, is Table by the Window. Okay, it actually, the first play focuses on the troubled relationship between a disgraced Labour politician and his ex-wife. Okay, nobody is happy. Like, you are having a relationship with your girlfriend, you are having a relationship with your ex-wife, like that, a lot of things are happening in people's life. Now here, it actually focuses on the troubled relationship between a disgraced Labour politician and his ex-wife. Then the second play, basically titled as Table Number 7. It's like I am ordering and I have seated somewhere and I'm ordering. Okay, so whose order is this? Table number 7. It sounds like that. Okay, it's set about 18 months after the events of the previous play. Okay, after the events, like after 18 months of the events, like the Table by the Window came, then after 18 months, the whole setting is set after 18 months and deals with the touching relationship between a repressed spinster and Major Pollock. Kindly in both plays are written to be played by the same performers. Okay, you don't need to remember this, just remember that there's a first play, Table by the Window, second play is Table number 7. Okay, and it is set about 18 months after the events of the previous play. Just remember this much information. Moving on. Second writer is Caryl Churchill. Oh, she is, wait a minute. Basically, she is a writer born in 1938. Okay, she is a British playwright, and basically, she is very known for dramatizing the abuse of power, for her use of non-naturalistic techniques, and for her exploration of sexual politics and feminist themes. So you will see themes like this, like abuses of power she is dealing with, and naturalistic technique, non-naturalistic technique she is using, and also her exploration of sexual politics is there in her works, and feminist themes is also there. Okay, so let's cover the works of Caryl Churchill. So the first work is Cloud 9, which was published in 1979. It's a 2-act play. What? It's a 2-act play. Moving on. See here. The 2 acts of the play form a contrapunctual structure. I have already discussed this contrapunctual structure. I will not explain this again and again. Then Act 1. Understand. Act 1 is set in British colonial Africa in the Victorian era. Do remember the setting. And Act 2 is set in a London park in 1979. Act 1 set in British colonial Africa in the Victorian era, and the second one is set in a London park in 1979. Okay. In the first act, what happens? In the first act, characters struggle with societal expectations and repression, reflecting the rigid norms of the Victorian era. Like they are reflecting, and the characters are very much struggling with societal expectations, how society is expecting them to be, and repression is there, and they are also reflecting the rigid norms of the Victorian era. Okay, so what they really want people to follow during Victorian era, that you'll see in the first act. Then the second act shifts to a more liberated and diverse 1970s London, exploring how societal attitudes have changed over time. Of course, things are changing. Even in today's time, we are experiencing, or we are actually noticing that things are changing. Okay, so the second act basically will tell you that how things are changing, how societal attitudes have changed over time. Okay, Now let's cover the characters, some of the characters. The first character is Cleve, Betty, Joshua, Edward, Victoria, Maud, Harry Bagley, Kathy, Gary, and others. Okay, so these are the characters you need to remember. Moving on. Second work is Top Girls. It was published in 1982 and it's a very interesting work. I'll explain this. Like a thought-provoking play that explores feminist themes. As I told you that Caryl Churchill will talk about it because societal repression will be there in her works as a theme. Feminist themes are there. And the challenges faced by women in different historical and contemporary contexts. Basically, Top Girl will deal with the feminist themes and also the challenges faced by women in different historical and contemporary contexts. Contemporary will be Churchill's time. Okay. Now the central character is Merlin, who is working at the Top Girls Employment Agency, and the plot unfolds through a series of non-linear scenes. Like you will see that some, like this happened, then that happened. There is no linearity is there. Okay. Now the first act introduces Merlin's celebration dinner, where historical and fictional women from different periods join her. It seems like Sonpari. Like Sonpari can do anything. So here basically Merlin's celebration is there, dinner celebration is there, and a lot of people are joining, women are joining, basically historical, fictional. Just imagine you host the party and Victorian era's people are joining, Virginia Woolf is joining, then Jane Eyre is joining. Like just imagine the situation. Okay, moving on. Now the second act shifts to the workplace, providing a glimpse into the cutthroat corporate world where Merlin competes with and excels. Now it will also show you that the workplace environment and how Merlin was competing with them, how Merlin excels throughout the challenges. Okay, so then let's see that after Act 1. Now third work is Serious Money. It was published in 1987. It's a satirical play. It's very much notable for being largely written in rhyming couplets. Do remember this information. It's an interesting and also a different fact. Okay. Now, here, the plot follows Sheila and Jake, who are enjoying the pleasures and the comforts of the upper class. Like, just imagine you're enjoying your own life. You are having a very good environment and background, upper class background, enjoying things. But the story climaxes when Jake Todd turns up murdered during the first few scenes due to his underground threading. And the whole thing changes. One day Jake Todd being murdered. Why? Because of underground threading. Okay, first few scenes you will see that. So that is the whole plot line you need to remember. Then the fourth work is Blue Heart, which was published in when? Do find out. I skipped to note it down. Okay, now basically it has two one-act play. There are two plays. Okay, each play has one act. Heart's Desire, first one. Second one is Blue Kettle. Okay, Heart's Desire basically explores the complexities of family relationships, focusing on a dysfunctional family dealing with communication breakdowns and hidden secrets. Just imagine your own family, because nowadays everybody has, like, if you have a broken family or even dysfunctional family, you can relate to it. Everyone has one's own secrets, right? And they are not even communicating with each other. Now, meanwhile, second, Blue Kettle delves into themes of deception and identity as it follows a man who pretends to be the long-lost son of various women. Now just imagine somebody is pretending to be the long lost son of various women. Just imagine various women, and highlighting the impact of lies on personal connections. And the story will highlight, I can imagine, without even highlighting, what will be the consequences. You are lying to different women about, wow. Okay, now next is fifth work. Far Away is a 2000 work, okay, and has 4 characters, and the characters are important. The first is Harper, young John, and Todd. Todd is like, you're talking about, never mind, and is based on the premise of a world in which everything in nature is at war. Okay, it's basically based on the premise of a war, like it's talking that how everything is in war, in nature is at war, like everybody is fighting for that. Now it's done. The sixth work is A Number. It's a 2002 work, and the narrative centers around a father, Salter, and his 3 identical sons. Like one, just imagine Chandni is there, and I have 2 sisters, exactly looks the same as me. Okay, identical sons. Now, the play delves into the repercussions of cloning and the complex dynamics between the characters as they grapple with questions of identity, morality, and the consequences of scientific advancements. So, the first thing they are facing, that they are clones. Okay, looking same. So, identity crisis there, questions of identity is there, morality is there. There are a lot of things that the story is dealing with, and also the consequences of scientific advancements is there. Okay, the story set in the near future is structured around the conflict between a father, as I told you, Salter, and his sons, Bernard 1, identical one, Bernard 2, and Michael Black, 2 of whom are clones of the first one. Okay, first one's clone, these 2. This is the basic idea of the works, and do remember the characters, do remember the plot line. That is it, you need to know. Okay, thank you so much. We'll meet in the next lecture, and for that, for now, all the very best.